Hi, I'm one of two morons.
I don't know how to add, so...
Just say, I'm
I'm
the
a
other
moron.
Hi, I'm one moron. And who are you?
I guess I'm the second moron. Where's the porch?
The porch, I know. We're supposed to be on a porch. This is a porch that feels like a sofa. It's two morons.
So... We're so moronic that we need...
we need
notes.
Cheat notes.
We need notes. We need notes.
The producer, cameraman gave us a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
We're really...
We're nailing this.
Yeah. We are.
That should be that's going to be one of the reoccurring lines in the beginning. Like,
What?
We're nailing
We're
this.
nailing this.
We're nailing it. We got this.
The hat's perfect, isn't it? Dylan, do you love the hat? Oh, never mind. I have weird hats in my car.
No, we're like Oprah, where we go to someone from staff constantly.
Yeah.
Doesn't she do that?
She talks to people who are back
Like
camera.
staff.
She does.
Right?
She talks to
Okay.
people. She also says things like, a car for everybody, a car for you, and you, and you. So, I have weird hats in my car, too.
Okay.
I think I have weird hats in my car.
I'm pretty sure we're nailing this.
I know, right? We are totally playing the moron role very, very well.
Well, you know, I was I already said this, but I can't stop saying it.
Okay.
Or whatever. How does that work? There's today in the news they're talking about Queen Elizabeth.
I know.
And everybody's like, yeah, it's such...
I'm so
one's so shocked. Isn't she like a million?
I was so shocked
everybody
that she died.
says, like, oh, I can't believe that she died. Well, isn't she like 1,000 years old?
Time to die.
Like,
the poor lady, she couldn't wait to die. She was probably like, I'm 96 and I'm the queen and I'm tired of it. May I please be deceased at this moment?
Everybody's like, this is such a shock. Yeah, and raptors don't exist anymore. And then I'm surprised that dinosaurs aren't here anymore.
Actually, I heard there is one in... Yeah, I heard that it hangs out near the giant grocery store. Oh, okay. Never mind. It hangs out in the town in which we are filming, which shall remain unnamed. But dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
They're digitally put pyramids in the back.
What is a dinosaur's favorite grocery store? Giant. Because it's gigantic, right?
You're really taking this moron bit. You really. You just punched all those numbers. Okay.
Let's get one from you now, other moron. What is...
So a moth goes to a proctologist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard you tell this joke.
You go...
Keep telling it.
Moth goes to a proctologist. He says, Doc, you gotta help me out, man. I don't know what to do anymore. Nothing's good. I'm at my wit's end. Like, my family, like, none of them. Like, my son. Why am I doing this? Oh my goodness. So there was a moth, right? So he goes to the proctologist. He's like, Doc, you gotta help me out, man. I don't know what to do, man. I'm freaking out. I think I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth. 'Cause I'm a moth, right?
Right?
Yeah, and I'm barely clinging to my web, and it's a web of lies. I even spelled it in the web. It says lies, and I'm hanging on it, and I'm barely, and I don't even want to hang anymore. I just want to let go and get out of this horrible torment that is my sad, pathetic, miserable moth life. And the doctor said, well, hey, moth, I mean, I wish I could help you out, but I think you need a psychiatrist. Like, I look at buttholes. Because I'm a... Because that's how doctors... They tell you straight up, I look at buttholes. Oh, this is so stupid. So, the doctor says, why'd you even come here? I look at... You need a psychiatrist. I look at butthole. That's what he says. Because he's a doctor. No, so, all right. I just ruined this whole joke. But the psychiatrist, oh no, he's not a psychiatrist. He says, you need a psychiatrist. Why'd you even come here? And the moth says, well, the light was on. Yeah, see?
What's better than being in the Special Olympics?
That's one of my favorite jokes. What could be better than winning the gold medal in the Special Olympics? Oh my God. Edit that.
So politically incorrect. Even Two Morons Show should say
Yeah, saying is pretty
it's
That's pretty
it's as like it's so gay too.
very
Totally too
very
so
very I hope so.
Hi, editor.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say so. I meant to say it's so each other. To be
nothing to add to
politically
that.
correct, they were massaging each other's.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Because I don't want to.
You don't want to offend
I don't want to offend anybody.
So,
They were just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of.
This is the worst show.
The worst show ever.
I love it though. I would watch this.
I would too.
Just for the pure
idiocracy of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's use that.
Yeah, idiocracy. So, what else can we talk about? It is September 10th. Tomorrow is September 11th, the anniversary of Twin Towers coming down.
Let's do it again.
What, we're part of the terrorists? We did it?
I didn't mean that. I just wanted to,
Experience it again?
Yeah, well, like when you see the best scene from your favorite movie, you don't just watch it once.
That scene, the scene where that second airplane flew into the tower, that was a pretty intense, well-filmed scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The director really.
I know. And then when
he had a vision.
When all the announcers were saying, "Oh my God, now the Pentagon has been hit," and this is really worse than being politically incorrect.
That was a great movie. I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do a sequel.
No, really?
Yeah.
They're probably planning it along with the 7 virgins that those terrorists got when they did that.
No, they're gonna. Spoiler alert! They're gonna bring back the Unabomber.
Oh, wow. When is this airing?
because he was such a good, like, they gotta involve him some way.
Can they somehow reincarnate Jeffrey Dahmer for the whole thing? Do you think? Charles
Maybe.
Manson?
I don't know about that. Like, I mean,
Manson would be a good addition, you know? He was so interesting.
I liked Kaczynski. He nailed that role, didn't he?
Yeah, he was really good in that role.
He was dynamite.
Yeah. Well, what about the guy that shot Kennedy? He was pretty good in his role.
Which one?
I don't think they ever figured it out, did they?
I don't think so.
All these good movies coming back gives you something to look forward to.
You know, speaking of the John F. Kennedy assassination, you know what I would like to see?
What?
Like grainy footage of the grassy knoll.
Oh, yeah?
But no human beings.
Oh.
Just a gun sitting there laughing.
I don't know if I could handle the emotion of that. Might be too much. So what else is coming soon?
Well, apparently the Kennedy assassination is a recent topic.
Well, I heard they're going to redo the whole John Lennon thing and maybe move it to a different part of New York City and maybe even have the towers falling in the background as John Lennon is shot, because that would be like double impact.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to pull it off, but...
Probably not, because then we're going to have to hear that really sad, whiny song that he sings. Imagine all the people. Day oh my goodness!
I found my friends.
Is that song supposed to be a lightning?
It's supposed to be what?
I don't know. It's supposed to be positive or whatever.
Which song? Imagine?
Yeah, right?
I think he thought it was, and didn't Yoko help write it? She might have helped.
That's probably why it sucks.
I know. Oh, here comes another. Nobody's looking. They're all snobby today. It's the snobby Saturday crew of people who have nothing to do with waving porch people.
We used to play that game.
Waving at cars?
Yeah. No, that was 100% a game we used to play.
Really?
Yes.
That was a boring childhood, huh? Hey, siblings, there's nothing going on today. Let's just go wave at cars. So what else did you and your siblings do to entertain yourselves? I'm so happy.
I'm hoping to offend everybody.
Well, everybody will be offended if he actually puts all this
I
online.
hope so. It'll be
like
great.
super offended.
Because you know I'm serious. I'm the most serious person ever.
Who else can we insult and offend?
We can insult people that are offended.
Yeah.
Because I hate people that are offended.
There's something wrong with people that get that offended over every little
Because like
thing.
they would, like, for real, people would get upset about anything I just said. But just like have I done anything serious ever? I don't think so. My whole entire life is just one
big joke.
Yeah.
The bike is an electric bike from the company.
And we can't say that.
Why? Oh, we can't say brand names. It's an electric bike from blah, 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 sent it to me free because I wrote a very complimentary article. And they said, hey, we're not offended by your article. Here, have a free e-bike. The bike has been ridden really hard, but apparently the other day or night, Michael Bordner was riding it and it broke right in half. And you could even film that bicycle and see the hole breaking in half.
Oh. Are you waiting for my 2 cents?
You know what could be included in the opening or ending credits of Two Morons on the Porch? You could do a close-up of the wind chime with one of the morons just kind of making the noise and saying, hey, why does this thing make this noise?
Or you could just use whatever you just did right there.
This. Hey.
Oh no, the whole thing.
Instead of the actual touching the wind chime. Yeah, you could.
Because that was more
it's
moronic
too.
than I see what you were getting at, but what you were saying was stupider
so moronic.
than yeah.
You could use that, but
so I think
it might have been too moronic for even the most moronic of shows. You don't want to get too moronic, or what would happen? It might give you, like, I don't know what.
These days,
death threats. If you're too moronic, you might get death threats.
Yeah. They don't like it when you say stuff.
People hate moronic.
Yeah.
Life is sad and funny all at once.
We got 2 minutes here and I gotta wrap up.
Okay, so.
Why is there a time constraint on our moronacy? Is that a word?
No, but you can make it one.
I think so.
It's like idiocracy.
This guy knows.
Moronacy.
Hey. I love your beard.
You look like Ernest Hemingway. He's like, I gotta go respond to that comment.
Hey, what's up, man?
You do look like Ernest Hemingway.
I watched this. It was a Norm Macdonald bit. He went on and on about how he met an older gentleman. Mm-hmm. And when you meet an older gentleman, you think you're going to hear some
stories.
But that was nothing. I kept waiting to hey, yeah, you got some. He said he worked on the railroads. He was in
I was waiting for.
Is there gonna be it was just well then we moved to here. And
I thought there was gonna be some dramatic military action.
Where's I want to hear the train hopping story, or my buddies were pinned down or something.
I know.
Not just my wife moved to.
He was lonely. He wanted to talk.
Well, yeah.
Both morons had COVID. This moron was not as bad. That moron was extraordinarily sick. And probably still sick.
A little bit. I don't think it's from COVID anymore. I think it's just from getting pneumonia.
Yeah, that's all. Just pneumonia.
Yeah, that's it.
What did the cameraman calls it? Pneumonia? COVID. What was your name, cameraman? COVID pneumonia. Pneumonia. Pneumonia from COVID.
Pneumonia.
And the cameraman never got it because he must have super immunity or something. He's like Superman. Not a lot of news. COVID. I went to the beach. That was fun. Made my sister-in-law sick. That's not fun. Went to a concert last night. So much fun. Got restrained by a security guard. That was interesting. Got stuck in a traffic jam for over an hour coming out of there. Got stuck in a McDonald's drive-thru because Melissa Fisher, my photographer, had to have McDonald's. So that took like an hour.
She had to have McDonald's. She couldn't live without her McDonald's.
Starving. She had to have a cheeseburger and french fries, and so we got in that line.
Just stop being that.
We could have and should have, but I don't know Allentown that well, so we were coming out of there and it was already 12:30 after midnight, and she's like, hey, there's a McDonald's, I'm starving.
I had a lot of people at this store stopping in after coming from that show.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, a few people that I knew, they were like, oh, we just saw that. And I was like, yeah, my one friend was there with a press pass.
It was so freaking good. I'd say 90% of the audience was like early 20-something-year-olds. We
Probably.
were like, wow, it's all 20-something-year-olds. So we loved it. We danced the whole time. Oh my God, they're so good. The lead guitarist, he's amazing. He held his guitar in back of him and he did this 5-minute lead solo behind his head. My gosh, he's so good. And
then
I
saw Mike McCready from Pearl Jam do that at Bonnaroo for like probably like 20 minutes.
I can't even imagine. How do you even do that? That was amazing.
I think Hendrix did it first, and then he would bring it around and then play with his teeth and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this guy held it back there for at least 5 minutes, and then he played a harmonica, and he'd do like a little riff on the harmonica, and then his twin brother, who's the lead guy, would totally mimic the sound, like with his mouth. It was amazing. The lead guy, holy cow, that kid is amazing. He's barefoot. He wears like a weird costume, and he's got that Robert Plant voice, and lots of fire and stage effects, and like very dramatic. So
I think we need fire and stage effects.
I know. Well, if morons had fire, we might like catch our hair on fire.
Yeah, probably.
I know.
Actually, I think I have some fire stored over there, so I'm just gonna bring that in.
You gonna bring in the fire?
Here's something, speaking of morons. So at work last night, some girl came in super drunk, and she just bought she had a couple things. She puts them on the counter right in front of me, and then she's like fumbling around with like the card thing to like pay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, why is she taking so long? So I kind of look over, and she's like pretending like she's fumbling with it. She's trying to steal like a big Kit Kat bar.
Oh my God.
Right in front of me.
Oh my God.
And she's stuffing this thing into her pocket, and it's not fitting. So like half of it's sticking out.
Holy cow.
And then she's like my card's not scanning, and I was like, well, I'm not even gonna let you scan it. You know, like, do you really want to go to jail tonight for a Kit Kat?
Holy cow.
And she kind of like froze like a deer in the headlights, and I was like, yeah, you should probably put that back.
Oh my
And then she put it back, and then like didn't say a word. She finally paid for the other stuff and then left.
Wow.
But yeah, like
Did she think it was another Steel Saturday day or something?
I guess, but it was just like, it was so bad.
Oh my God.
Like, you know,
well, that's
I would have had more respect for them if they would like try to steal something like
something big.
Yeah, try to come over here and get some money or something.
Yeah, I know. A Kit Kat bar. Jeez. That was a big chocolate craving.
Holy moly.
Oh my
And she was already buying like a whole bunch of junk food. It's like, well, you know,
what the heck?
They come in these giant waves of like 20 or 30 kids.
Yeah.
And then like they're all over the store, and then while you're ringing some people up, all of a sudden you'll just see like people just walk out of the store with like hands full of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And like I try to stop, like, hey.
And they just keep walking. Wasn't there like a car theft a while ago at that turkey hole when you were working, or somebody tried to?
No, someone stole a car like around the corner.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when I worked there before. Yeah, I was just at work and somebody came in and was like, "Hey, did you by any chance see someone like come in here with like?" And I forget what kind of car it was, but it was like a rare type of car, and someone stole it right out of the back of his house. It's like, like the alley that is parallel to Main Street. But it's like, you know, if you walk out Turkey Hill, it's like you make that. It's hard to explain, but anyway, it's just like that alley up there, and it was like a couple blocks away. And the guy's like, "Yeah, like I heard like some commotion at back of my garage, and by the time I got out there, someone was like driving my car away."
Jeez, did they ever catch him?
I have no idea. That was the last I ever heard about that.
That's cray-cray. Oh, here was something crazy. Last night, we get into Allentown, and Melissa and I had never been to that venue, so we didn't know you should buy your parking ahead of time. So we were in this real long line to get in a parking garage. And we were there like 45 minutes, just inching forward. And at one point, a truck came from the other lane and cut right in front of us. And Melissa's like, "Oh my gosh, that jerk." She's like, "Watch him get into the garage and then they'll say the garage is full." That happened.
Really?
The guy went in and the cop's like to us, like, "Stop." And then he brings out "lot full." And we're like, "No way, the lot's full. That guy got in front of us or we would have been the last car." So then we had to go like another 2 miles all around the block. So we finally got a parking garage, and then we walked with all these 20-year-old boys. We were calling them our buddies. Like, we're all like, "Do you know how to get to the PPL Center?" And they're like, "No, do you?" And we're like, "No, but we'll find it." So we all walked and walked and walked. Well, then we got in there, and then they only had one ticket. And they gave Melissa a photo wristband, but that meant she could only go in front of the stage and film 3 songs, and then she was supposed to like leave or find somewhere to sit. And she's like, "That's no fun. I want to sit with you." And I'm like, "Well, if we can't, we can't." But anyway, long story short, they gave her a ticket and we found 2 seats together. And then she was too chicken to go down and stand in front of the stage anyway. And I was like, "You're crazy. Like, I want to go down there." So she took off the wristband and I put it on. And I make my way down through like 80,000 people. I get down there and I'm like, there's no way to get down there anymore because they put these walls up. And I said to this guy in the audience, "I'm trying to get down there." And he goes, "Well, the only way is climb the wall and jump down." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it." So I climbed the wall, I jumped down, and I'm no sooner on the ground than a security guard like rushed at me and restrained me. Like, he probably thought I was a groupie, like jumping the wall to try to get to the stage. And I had this thing on, and I'm like, "No, wait, look, I have a photo band." So he's like, "Go ahead." So I go in front of the stage and I got my phone out and I had Melissa's camera on me and I started filming because I wanted to get a film up close, and another security guard came running at me and he's like, "No, no phones, camera only." And by the time I got the camera up, I got like 3 blurry pictures, and then they were like making everybody leave who had a photo band. So that was dramatic. I never had a security guard actually restrain me before. He was on it, man. I always want to get in front of the stage, and Melissa's scared because she got hurt at a Rage Against the Machine concert when she was 19. These big guys were like banging into each other and she broke her wrist. So now she's all chicken about like being in front of any stage, even if it's just photographers. So I got down there, I got a real close look at that lead singer guy. Man, he's dramatic. I can't even explain him. You saw one video of him, but that guy is amazing. So we said it was all worth it. Parking garage, crowd, and all. It was fun. So anyway, that was my night. Went to bed, 2:45, and now I'm tired and drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. And then I went to work, and then I came here. So, life is exciting. And what else happened at Turkey Hill?
Well, the cops were there, but not for Turkey Hill. The lady that I was working with, apparently, that place, that the lady I was saying that with
That
all
house.
the flags,
Yeah.
where I guess there's like, she's telling me there's a pretty decent room for rent, but it's like a room, and then like you share a bathroom with other people.
That's
So
fun.
yeah, I don't really want to do
Yeah,
that. But
that's always
anyway,
fun.
but apparently, some lady that also lives there and her boyfriend had this huge fight, and then there was like damage to someone's car and like all this and that and the other thing. So the cops were there talking to her about that. It wasn't about anything that happened
Yeah.
at the store, but
Wow.
that happened. The other thing, I had a big long conversation about somebody because he always comes into the store and then like leafs through like the newspapers, and then we had this long conversation about how like because we get the morning call every day, we get the New York Times, the New York Post, we get Wall Street Journal, and some other thing like IBD Weekly or something like that, and like last night, I mean, we had like a stack of like 20, 25 of just the Sunday paper. And then there's a giant stack of like all the other papers. And like whoever goes in tonight is probably going to throw all of those away.
Really?
And we just had this big long conversation about how like why are they making all these newspapers
Yeah.
and dropping them off all over these stores?
Yeah. And they're not even getting recycled.
I think I sold one. There's one older gentleman that comes in every morning, and he gets the New York Post and a cup of coffee, and that's usually the only newspapers I ever
I
sell.
know.
And then the next night I go out and just throw them in the cardboard dumpster.
That's so sad.
It's like
Does that
all
mean
that ink and paper.
I know.
and like, you know, I usually try to read them mainly just the comics, but I'm a moron, so that's fine. But it's just like how are they paying people to print and use all this
they're not
ink
anymore like writers. I used to write for newspapers. Nobody is. They don't need writers because nobody's buying the newspaper.
and
It's crazy.
I imagine it's like that at every
It is.
place.
It's bad.
They're all just throwing these,
Yeah.
you know.
They're just going under,
Yeah.
and eventually they'll totally go away.
Yeah, because I was even having, because I know all the different people that, there's like 3 different people that deliver certain newspapers, and I joked with the one guy. I was saying about how instead of like you coming in here and dropping off the papers, I said, why don't you just pull up to the dumpster and like save me the trip?
I know. That's
Like-
crazy.
Like literally, you could just drive up, dump them in
know.
there, and then
Well-
you know that's one less thing I have to do.
Yeah.
Because I hardly ever get sick.
I know that was
And, like,
bad.
Like, yeah, I think it was just a combination of like, because I was still like working night shift,
Yeah.
being around all those people. Like the college was back,
Right.
handling all that money, not getting the right amount of sleep, and then that I got COVID,
Run down.
and yeah.
Well, plus
and plus-
stress. You've had a lot of stress. So.
Yeah, and plus, you know, just been a smoker for like almost 30 years.
Yeah, I could hear you wheeze a minute
Yeah.
ago.
Well, I was wheezing before I got sick, just from because I smoked for so long, but not that bad. But I think just a combination of all that, it just really like.
Yeah, you were sick. There was a hurricane in Florida, kind of, but I'm going to be there 2 weeks from today. It's Hurricane Central.
Yeah, it's like almost like Tornado Alley out in the Midwest.
Well,
Because when I lived down there was like a couple of them every year. I remember the one was crazy because the one actually the hurricane didn't hit Florida, but it was a big one that hit like middle of like North and South Carolina.
Okay.
But because it was so big, this was crazy because it wasn't like storming in Florida, but you weren't supposed to go to the beach, but we did anyway. And literally, I'd never seen this. This was the only time I've ever seen this happening. The waves weren't coming in; they were going south down the beach.
Like sideways?
Yes.
Yeah,
They were going south down the beach so fast too that we got in the water, and by the time we could get back to the beach, we were so far down the beach. Like by the time we walked back to our stuff, half of it was missing because.
Really?
Yeah, because either the wind's blown away or whatever. But like, I mean, we were literally like got in, and within 30 seconds, we were like.
Did you try to swim?
A mile down the beach.
Were you in boogie boarding or swimming?
No, we were just ran out into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it was a hurricane.
And it just you couldn't like stay like once you got in, you were
just
immediately
pulled you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was going so fast. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, that's how my rib gut broke.
At least it's a little warmer today.
I will say
this. I was freezing last night.
Oh my gosh, it was so cold.
I swear, like the whole like 9 hours I was stuck at work. Like 70% of all conversation was, it's way too cold right now, and it's not even really even winter yet.
I know.
Yeah, it was brutal because it was like I hated it so much. I was wearing like an undershirt, my long sleeve work shirt, and then this sweater, and then another sweater on top of it, like you know, a knit hat, and I'm like, I'm so cold right now, and I'm thinking to myself, it's not even.
I was
it's not even winter yet, and I already am just
I worked
miserable.
at a fall festival in Likens, Pennsylvania. It was in the 30s, and it was so windy, and there was no sun. We started at 9. We were freezing, and there were a lot of people like without teeth for some reason in that area of Likens. I guess teeth were in short supply. So we were talking to a lot of toothless people, and we were freezing. I had like 4 layers on. I had a winter coat, a scarf, gloves. And then I get to the Kevin Hart event.
How did that go?
At Hershey. Oh my God, he's hilarious. Yeah. He is so good. But they didn't tell us we were working outside. But luckily,
it was outdoor.
Because we were working for Yonder, locking up people's cell phones in pouches. So the other event I worked was in the arena, but we were outside. But luckily I had all these clothes because I come from the fall festival.
Yeah.
But we had 65 people working. I was one of the leads. It was mass chaos. But I snuck in and saw 45 minutes of Kevin Hart. He is hilarious. He's 5'2". Did you know that? He's real short.
No, he's very...
He came out...
But he's super, like, into being fit. He's ripped.
He looked
but
pretty
he's
fit.
5'2". He looks like Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah. Well, he came out and he had this enormous, oversized baseball bat. And I wish I could imitate his voice because it's not going to be funny when I say it, but he's like, yeah, y'all looking at me wonder what this is all about. He's like, I've had it with you MFers who run up on the stage. I've had it. Anybody comes up here, this bat is meeting your head. And I was laughing so hard at him. He was really, really good. Really funny.
Did he do the whole like crazy, because from what I understand, he has like this crazy stage. It's almost like an arena rock concert with lights and pyrotechnics and
he did. He had like some like fog effects.
Yeah,
and
he
like
he
a
goes way out.
background.
Like
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like Pink Floyd
Right.
in a way,
well,
where
kind of, yeah. No,
because it was like, or like Flaming Lips, or like
Yeah,
bands like that,
right.
Radiohead, where it's like, all right, you have this amazing talent that's doing this thing, but what can we do to make the rest of the show be
right.
something extreme, you know?
Yeah, he had lights.
Yeah.
He told a really funny story about how he flew to Mexico with his
I
buddies.
think we're doing this all wrong. Aren't we supposed to be morons?
I know.
This
We're
is-
not.
this
We're
is a-
just talking. We're not doing anything moronic right now.
This is.
You should
we're actually,
probably
We're
cut.
being intelligent right now.
I know. We're just talking.
We got to do something.
We have to be
Hey,
morons.
speaking of cold, being
Yeah,
cold,
yeah.
and morons. So, last night we were saying that it was really cold. So, here's how stupid some people are. Like, not as stupid as or moronic as me,
As
because
us,
I'm
yeah.
a moron on a porch. But so there was a lot of ladies, and they would stop in the Turkey Hill, and as soon as they opened the door, they were like, "Can I just come in and get warm?" Because they're wearing like almost nothing,
Like college girls with little tiny
they're
outfits.
wearing almost nothing,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, all
Like-
right, I guess, but it's like, wouldn't it just be easier,
Just
like
to wear some clothes?
because you're walking from here to go to this place,
Yeah.
just bring a jacket, and then you wouldn't have to.
We saw that at the Kevin
Yeah.
Hart concert. See, we're talking about lights. The Kevin Hart show. This one lady came out. She had like a black leather dress that had all these cutouts all up and down the sides, and like, you know, bare legs. And we were looking at her going, "Oh my gosh, she must be freezing." We saw a lot of outfits like that, like really, really. We were saying, this is a comedy show, not a nightclub. Like, what's this about? But yeah.
It's.
well, here's something.
I want to look good. I will.
I'll do
I will
anything.
risk hypothermia.
Yeah,
to
look
look
good. Yeah, there were some real dramatic-looking ladies.
I'd rather die of hypothermia
Yeah.
than not get Google eyes at me.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't live with that. I'd rather.
I have to sit in a dark
Yeah.
audience in my very revealing
I
dress.
guarantee you, if those same ladies, could have like had their toes and fingers amputated from frostbite, and the very next night they'd be out there like this, and
in the sexy clothes,
wearing a
no
washcloth,
toes,
wearing a
no
washcloth.
fingers.
Just
You'd be like, "Hey, everybody!"
yeah, doused in makeup, like just dipped in a vat of like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kevin Hart talked a lot about plastic surgery and how everybody wants change now. And he's like, his buddy LeBron James used to have one hair on his head. And Kevin's like, I know, because I always looked at that hair. And he's like, LeBron walked in a party recently, and he struts in, and he's all confident, and he has this full head of hair. And Kevin's like, what's up, bro? And LeBron's like, what's up? Just acting like everything's normal. And Kevin goes, and I know it ain't no toupee, because they don't make no, and then he used the N-word, they don't make no N-word toupees. But he was talking a lot about people getting like nose jobs and Botox and lip injections.
It never
and,
looks right.
yeah. And
You know?
butt inject. Do you know a lot of black ladies like to get butt injections to get really big butts?
That's been a thing.
Yeah, yeah. So
I think it was the whatever those the Kardashians.
oh yeah, they started
I'm
that.
not a big fan of them, but like
No.
well, you know, there's a bunch of them, and you know, there's,
They all have big
there's
butts.
Kim and
Courtney,
Lois.
Lois. There's also the dad who's now kind of a mom, Bruce. That's their dad mom, right? You don't know about Bruce?
No, I've never had Wheaties ever in my life. Never ate Wheaties ever.
There's something on the porch for you.
Oh,
What is this, our sponsor?
Twix. Twix likes morons.
It's like the
Well, apparently they have many flavors in other countries that we do not have.
I think that was Kit Kat.
Was that Kit Kat? Okay, we need to look into that.
it's like a homeless dessert. You only get to smell it. Oh, speaking of homeless, you know who I feel bad for?
Who?
And I do feel bad for the homeless, but you know who I really feel bad for?
Who's that?
The dogs of home. You ever see a homeless person with
All
a
the
dog?
time, yeah.
Yeah. And you know that dog's going like, man, this is the longest walk ever. He's going like, is this ever gonna pay off? Like, I could have did this by myself. Yeah, thanks for the leash.
Yeah, like they're thinking other dogs are in bed with people and getting like special treats and dinners. And they're not even usually wearing a little doggy sweater when you see homeless dogs, right? You don't usually see them in those. It's always the rich people have their dogs in the dorky little
Most of the
sweaters.
time they're like pit bulls.
Yeah, sometimes.
And they're like these big, muscular dogs.
Yeah.
I guess to protect them from
From the elements.
other homeless people. I don't know. They're gonna have this big dog to walk around with. But yeah, we're getting a sign.
The cameraman is saying,
There's-
stop
there's
talking.
We gotta move the runway. A plane's coming in.
The airport diner has turned into the airport. We have 40 subscribers now.
All right, let's take a quick break.
How's your coffee?
And we're back.
I brought coffee pods.
Seinfeld. Kramer.
Are we on? So, here's some news. Two Morons is now available on podcast platforms. Link below. Check it out.
Right
Hit
there.
that link.
Right down there. Right
Be insulted.
in the area that I point to.
Be repulsed and insulted by every episode. Except maybe last week when we both, we were recovering from COVID, so we were both pretty low energy.
I think the universe realized that, because didn't it all just, it didn't ever even record?
No, he found it. He's got it.
That's right, he did tell me that.
He was showing it to me.
But it was almost like, because I was still like...
Yeah, you were still sick. Are you still
like
sick?
75% of myself, yeah.
Ooh. Hi! Hi!
I'm car people too, just not now. I'm porch people right now, but we're still the same.
Yeah. They don't have to be afraid of us. We're not scary. We're safe people.
we're
the
getting
cameraman
waved at
again, the airplane guy. Airplane dude.
Like now us, because we're just the two morons.
Right.
But he's like the
smart one.
He's the editor. He's the producer. He's the
director.
cameraman, the director. So when he waves
Story editor.
obnoxiously, we have to
stop.
Yeah, because
he's directing us. So the cameraman emailed me last night when I was working at the Kevin Hart show, and I didn't have time to answer him then, but I answered him this morning. He said, do you have any other moronic videos to send me? Because I sent him a moronic COVID celebration dance that I did at the beach.
Okay.
So he had that one. And then he's like, do you have any more? And I said, well, this stupid little clip of me trying to climb a tree in Michigan where I didn't really try. I just dun, dun, and then I got down. So our cameraman put it on YouTube as a short. And within an hour or two, it had 20-some thousand views.
Really?
And we can't figure out why. Because I'm moronic, so I'm not going to figure out why.
That is
if you could tap into that and really, and this is not gonna be moronic. See, we shouldn't even put this on this.
See, we're
but if you
too
could tap into
intelligent.
that, because I noticed that like anytime you look up anything, there will always be like this, like they will also bring up like fails and
right.
everybody
like
notices
somebody
that somebody
falls off a skateboard,
and like that's why America's
that's
Funniest
why.
Home Videos
Yeah,
was
maybe that's
because
why.
everybody loves to see someone fall on their face.
I know.
And it's a horrible thing to say, but it's 100% true. And if you can tap into
That is so true.
I think Letterman did that a lot, where he would do these. I think he was probably like the godfather of that, because, I mean, he had a segment where he put on this suit, like it was like a 70-pound suit of Alka-Seltzers,
Really?
and they lifted him up on like with the, the crane thing, and they dipped him in this like refrigerator-sized thing of water.
Fizz?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
And like, but it's just like.
I would do
that
that.
is like the essence of what that is.
What
like,
people
and,
like.
and America's Funniest Home
Yeah,
Video
yeah.
is like, the kid hit the wiffle ball right back into the dad's
It's so
junk.
true.
And, but that's If you tap into that, because like you could make amazing art and put that out there, and no one's ever gonna notice it, because. But there's always gonna be that. There's like, because no matter what I look up, there's like always like top 10 fails of that thing that I looked up.
It's so true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Maybe that's why it got it. Like, moron tries to climb a tree.
Yeah.
And the moron
it's
kind
like,
of just put her foot in the
and also because people these days, their attention span is so low.
Right.
Because, I mean, let's face it.
The internet, yeah.
Most people are morons.
So those people
the majority
are on
of
the
people
internet.
are morons.
Yeah, they're on
I
the internet.
would say 99.6% of all people on the planet are
actually morons.
And me included. I'm way down on the list too.
Well,
don't think that I'm
too.
saying that because I'm like elevated above. No, I'm like the 96% like are up here, and they're morons. I'm beyond moron. I'm like.
You're like
multi-moron. Like I'm like the billionaire of stupid.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm a moron too. I mean, I write books, but that doesn't mean you're not a moron. Just because you can put words down, you can still be a moron, right?
I think it's like the second you think that you're not a moron,
then
that
you're
makes
a
you
moron.
stupider than you were before you had that thought.
That's probably so true.
Yeah.
Want to hear something moronic? Last night at the end of the night, like after midnight, everybody's tired. I'm the lead, and I say to all the people working, everybody, here's the sign-out sheet. Everybody sign your name and put your checkout time. You would not believe how many people took that sign-out sheet and they'd look at me and go, I can't find my name. And I'm like, you're signing your name and you're signing your checkout time. They'd look because other people had signed. They'd be like, I can't find my name. It's pretty moronic, right? Cameraman.
Another plane's coming in. Watch out.
Hi.
That was close.
What was that TV? It was
so what now? What we gotta do now?
Oh yeah, Columbus Day. Tomorrow
Are they
is.
still doing that?
Do they call it something different now? Mm-hmm. Hi.
She's on one of those
things
those
that everybody has.
Yeah.
That they hold.
I don't like the one that it's just in their ear.
When they have it in their ear. And then you'll be approaching them like in the aisle of a grocery store and they're talking and you go, excuse me?
Yo, people come up to me at the counter and they're in like the middle of this conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm like asking them, just
telling
normal
them the
stuff
amount.
you have to ask,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And they're just not there.
Yeah, they're like talking. So I went to
all right.
Naples, Florida, and I got a pedicure.
Yeah, it reminds me. It reminds me of like, you know, you run into like a homeless guy, and they are literally talking to no one.
Right.
But I can't differentiate what the difference is. It's like you're probably like you are talking to a human being, but
Right.
literally when it all boils down, you're talking to no one because it's never like you're never hearing like someone like
Right.
they're like talking about like, hey, did you know Mark Twain was? They're not talking. They're not. It's not anything. It's like, hey, did you have the chips at the fondue party yesterday? And it's like the dumbest, boring you'll ever hear.
Or they'll be talking real personal stuff. Like, so then we had this big fight, and I called her a blank,
There's another
blank,
plane
blank,
coming.
blank,
There's a plane coming.
Yes, plane director. We didn't listen to his instructions. We're too moronic. Okay, let's talk about the holiday. Do you
So what
know
is it about?
tomorrow?
It's Columbus.
It's Columbus Day, but
And what did he do?
he supposedly discovered America, but he
That's like me going like, I'm the first person to see this house. I discovered, like, bam! Let's eat babies and kill Indians. I found this house.
Yeah, Columbus, he was a scoundrel and a scallywag and
rapist.
a rapist,
A racist.
a racist,
A baby killer.
He enslaved little girls and sold them. He was like a real bleep. Are we allowed to curse on this show? We're not. No. I was going to say he's a fucking cat, but then I remembered we're not allowed to curse. So he was not a kind man.
He wasn't even trying to get here.
I know. Where was he trying to get? Like Spain?
India.
India? Yeah.
That's why it's so
Like,
ridiculous.
Talk about a moron. I mean, then here he is.
Native Americans.
And then hundreds.
Indians are from India.
Wow.
Right.
That's deep. That's very, very deep. So, are you going to celebrate Columbus Day tomorrow?
I don't celebrate it, I mean, I don't celebrate it. I'll celebrate every single day of my life. Like, holidays are just like, whatever. It's just like this extra thing just to make me do more work. It's just like a bonus.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what is a fun holiday, though? Halloween. It's a fun one.
Did you ever hear about Abner Zimmerman? He was he's known to be one of the greatest farmers
I know this
ever.
one.
He's like genius with farming.
Yeah.
Like even in the wintertime he can grow
I know.
crops. Have you ever heard about him?
I have. He's.
You have?
I know.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah, and I.
No.
I never
You're
met
ruining
him.
the joke.
Okay,
Jesus.
no, I never.
All right,
I
fuck
never
that.
met him.
Joke
no,
over.
No.
She ruined it.
Go for it.
Moron.
I never met
Let's just-
Abner. So, go tell me about Abner. I met somebody named Reuben, and I had him confused with Abner, but he's not nearly as long-bearded. His beard is a little shorter, like a quarter of an inch. So I got Reuben confused with
Well,
your
anyway.
Abner. Yeah. So tell me about Abner.
Well, you probably should meet him.
Where can I
most
meet
people, they find that he's outstanding in his field.
I want to meet this guy.
But finally,
Bada bing,
we
bada
finally we got to being morons. Yeah, we're so
I need
stupid.
more caffeine to be. I only had 2 cups of coffee today. So I think level for moronity might be 4 cups. So I heard you were bit by a dog.
I was bit by a dog.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, so I was bit by a dog. It says right here on this piece of paper.
What was the dog's name?
Lincoln.
Oh, it has a name, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it wear a stovepipe hat sometimes?
I don't know. Maybe he should also be shot in the back of that.
In a theater? Can we take the dog to a
But anyway,
theater?
I kind of felt bad because, like a moron does, I did something moronic.
Okay.
And so I was talking to the neighbor, and I was talking to him. He was on one side of the fence. I was on the other side of the fence. And there was Lincoln, and like an idiot, I reached my hand into the fence to pet him. I was like, oh, Lincoln. And I reached my hand in there, and blow, I caught the wrath.
Yikes.
But I...
Is that Lincoln barking?
No.
Telling his side of the story?
That's
He's
not
like,
how it went down.
"Yeah,
That's
dude,
not how it went
the
down.
guy was an
That's not
He was
how it
going
went
to
down.
kick me.
That's
It
not
was
how it went down.
self-defense.
But no, I reached in there, and he it's actually not that bad. It's not as bad as it could have been.
Not as bad as it looks.
Yeah.
That's good.
But you live and you learn.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Everybody's got to get bitten by a dog at least once in their lives.
That's words to live by. I
It's-
feel more at peace now that I know everybody's going to do it.
It's better than a bear attack, right?
At least it wasn't a bear.
Where are you going?
I'm going to shut this door because I don't want all this smoke I'm
Oh,
smoking.
okay, gotcha.
Because, like a moron, I also smoke.
I've never smoked. I'd have to learn how to do it. I think the cameraman says I should not smoke. I think that's the generalized opinion here. We're nailing this.
But absolutely nailing it.
Apparently there's Dream World Coca-Cola. And does it taste like my dreams?
We'll find out.
My dreams sometimes taste like anxiety, like I'm traveling and I forgot to pack and I missed the plane.
I'll tell you my opinion after.
It tastes like normal Coke that somebody melted candy into.
Because I said it tasted more like a nightmare. It has a very weird aftertaste.
It's not good.
At first, you kind of get a hint of like, yeah, it has
It's real
like some type of
sweet.
candy in it. But then the aftertaste is like, ugh, what is, like I was licking the back of a car tire.
Yeah, it's not sugar-free, right? It's got sugar. Yeah, Dream World is kind of nightmarish, I would say. I wouldn't buy one.
Meh.
Where'd you get it?
Turkey Hill.
Turkey Hill. They are avant-garde. They're on the cutting edge of sodas, always.
There's a lot of weird different sodas they have these days.
Really?
All kinds of weird flavors and mixing cherries and vanillas and different, I don't know. I'm not a big soda
Strange.
person
I'm
altogether.
not either. I don't even look at them.
Yeah, get out my
You know
face,
when I
bug.
crave soda? When I'm sick. During COVID, I wanted soda. Like ginger ale.
Ginger
Sprite.
ale. Ginger ale
Yeah.
is, out of all the sodas, ginger ale is one I can drink.
Yeah.
Because it's also good. Ginger is good for the
Yeah,
stomach,
it is.
too.
I ordered ginger ale on airplanes when they come around and give you a tiny little bag of pretzels and ask you what tiny little cup of soda you would like. I ordered ginger ale.
A good Sue Silly sarsaparilla.
Yeah. So, have you seen the Morons in Cars video on YouTube?
I don't think so.
Okay, go up.
Whoa! That almost made me flinch.
I know.
Holy moly.
Here we
you might
go.
go upside
Oh my
down.
gosh.
What are you doing?
What did he hit?
The back of this car. Okay, got the green light. Alright, sounds good. Why are these people...
Ah!
Oh! Why were those other cars still going?
Yikes.
Was there a light problem?
All these dash cams, they should be called crash.
Crash can?
Crash.
Whoa, what is
Oh
that
my
guy
God,
doing?
no way.
Oh,
jeez.
What in the world was this dude doing?
Oh my gosh, he's gonna keep going.
What the
What in the world is this dude doing?
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Whoa!
No way.
Wow! Oh, he went through the guardrail and everything. What is this dude doing? Oh, he's drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's drunk.
Yeah,
he
definitely.
is
Holy
drunk.
cow.
That guy had a little too many boozes.
Yeah.
If I was another car on the road, I'd be
I
like,
would
I would
be
just pull.
away
I would
from
be pulling
him.
over.
Yeah, I would
I would
too.
pulling over.
I wouldn't even
I would
follow
be pulling
him.
over and I'd be calling
Oh
911.
my gosh.
We're like, yo, you gotta get this menace off the road. Oh, he's gonna smash into the back.
Oh no, there he goes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that an Amazon truck?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, it's bound to happen.
Yikes. That delivery's late. Here we go. Oh my goodness.
Whoa,
jeez.
how do you do that?
Hitting that white picket
And then
fence.
trying to take off.
Oh,
Whoa,
no.
whoa, whoa! What in the world?
College kids at Turkey Hill. You can speak on that. That's your jam.
Well, let me say this to be nice. I would say 75% of them are super, super nice, and they're cool, and they just come in there. They're very respectful. They might be obnoxious and loud sometimes and drunk, but they're at least respectful. And then there's 10% that are just, you know, just
Obnoxious.
No. Just 10% that are just like normal, like not polite but not rude. Just they come in, they don't say much, and they leave.
Yeah.
But the other 15% are beyond scumbag, beyond scum, and that's the thing, because it's a small percentage of them, but the ones in that small percentage are horrible, horrible human beings that think they're entitled and they can get away with anything.
Right.
They come down there just to steal, they curse, they say horrible things towards women right in front of their own girlfriends,
Wow.
and they
Threats.
threaten me with violence. And some of the names they called Bonnie just because she told them we don't have a public restroom is
It's
outrageous.
terrible.
There is something, like I said, it's definitely not all of them, but the ones that are really bad just make it look bad for everybody. Because it's so bad, and it's
Right.
so deliberate, and like their arrogance about it. Like if you
Yeah.
catch them stealing, now you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, we're at fault because we caught you stealing.
Something wrong with this generation.
I'm telling you. And because I work there at Turkey Hill and it's the only place open all night long, I know everybody. I know everybody that owns every single business in town, and they all say the same thing. This is the, like, I've never, you know, yeah, I've been in this town longer than, you know,
Yeah.
most people, and I've never seen, like, I've seen the students, and sometimes they can get out of control, but it's like, this is something on a different level.
Yeah.
It's on a
It's
totally
crazy.
different level. And a lot of people are saying that. The people that I know that work at say that. There's just something different. I don't know if it's the weird social media thing that some
Yeah.
people don't know how to handle properly. No, I don't hate it. I don't hate social media. It's not my thing, but I'm not against it because a lot of people that I know use it, but they know how to use it. My problem with it is like all the morons out there that it's using them
Right.
and they don't know how to act like human beings anymore because
Right.
they're so wrapped up in to needing to be whatever it is. I have nothing against it. I think it's a great thing.
No, it's a good tool. I
But
mean,
any tool is harmful if you don't know how to use it
yeah,
right. Like a
right.
chainsaw is awesome.
Sure.
You can
Yeah.
do a lot of amazing things with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
But if you're a moron, you don't know how to use it
Right.
right, it's fucking dangerous. And
Yeah.
I think that's the problem.
I
There's no training on apparently people don't have to have manners anymore.
Right.
Everything has to be nerfed these days.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like,
It's also like I call Facebook fake book for some people because it's all about like everything's perfect, showing off. I'm beautiful.
No one's real on camera.
Yeah, it's all fake.
No one's real on camera because
Yeah.
you know you're being filmed, and no one's gonna go up there and act like themselves. They're gonna act like what they want other people to think they are.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. It is kind of fake book.
Yeah.
It's like,
fake book.
yeah. No
But
one's honest.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
It's like going on I've never been on a dating site, but I imagine there's a lot of that too, where
Yeah.
you're presenting yourself because you want to get results.
Right.
So that's not really
real.
you.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's
then-
not really you.
that also-
and it's like, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of social media, who was the comedian? Some comedian just got banned. Kathy Griffin. She got banned from Twitter because she made a joke about Elon Musk. So now she's banned from Twitter.
Oh, this banning thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably something
what is wrong with,
politically
like, when-
incorrect.
I remember a time when sticks and stones,
Can
like-
break your bones,
like
but
words-
words will never hurt me.
and now all of a sudden everybody's weak and like
Yeah.
if they say, you know, people are offended by just the dumbest.
Right.
Like if there's something that you don't like or you're offended by, like my biggest grief about that is like people will go to see a comedy show, and then if they hear something they're offended by, they make a big deal, they try to cancel this person. It's
Right.
like, here's an idea. If you don't want to hear something that you're going to be offended by, stay the home.
Right.
Don't come. Like, why are you? You know,
Right.
it's like they want to go so they can be offended, so they can
So they
stir
can-
up bull.
Yeah.
It's like, if you really wanted to do something about it, you stay at home, because apparently a whole bunch of other people are coming out to pay tickets to hear that.
Right.
So your feelings, no one gives a shit about anybody else's feelings.
Right.
And no one should.
Oh, yes. I don't want to be a Republican. I don't want to be a Democrat. And I'm not voting.
I think it's getting really annoying. Because every time I see these commercials, it's always like how horrible this guy is, and then their other side is like how horrible that guy is. Well, if both these people are horrible, why are they even like in the running? And why are they are only two choices? I think it's a complete waste of time. I think no matter who gets voted in, they're going to be a piece of It's like looking over the toilet to pick out the shiniest turd. And I think it's like, it's almost like watching a sporting event. They're not really, it's like you're either on this team or this team. And it's like, well, both these teams suck. And none of them are actually doing anything to make anything better. Like, give me a real candidate that I really think will, then I'll vote. But if you're just gonna like, here's the turds, you know.
Yeah.
I
It's
just,
useless.
you know, and then I get really upset where people are like, well, if you don't vote, then you don't have a say. Like, if you vote, you're a moron. You're stupid because it's a waste of your time and nothing. Like, when I asked my dad this question, because he always voted, and I said to him, how long have you been voting? And, well, I voted the first time when I was 18. I'm 73. I'm a moron, so every time like I don't know how to do math, so it's like whatever years, right? But he's like, yeah, I've been voting for however long. And I was like, is anything better? Is anything better?
No.
And he's like, no, actually every single 4 years, or we have it's worse and worse and worse and worse.
Right.
So, okay, so what is the point of...
Gotta just live your life. Politics aren't
it doesn't
important. It doesn't change anything.
Like I've never voted once, and it never affected my life. I go about my life the same I would, regardless of what piece of scumbag is.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Is getting rich off of being greedy and f***ing everybody else over, and convincing people that their votes matter.
Yeah. Very, very annoying.
I hear it's going to be the last time.
They're trying to get rid of it. I think it has to go to Congress or something. But I wish they
So
would
Congress
end it.
is in charge of time now?
Yeah, they are. They own everything. They own time.
Well, didn't they start doing that? It was for like farmers, so
It
they would
was,
have extra
yeah.
time in the
I
day
think-
during that season
yeah,
when your
that was
crops are coming
exactly
in.
it.
Yeah.
But we're not farmers, so we don't like this early 5 o'clock darkness. Like right now, what is it? 5 o'clock? It's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
It's not good for people, not good for their physical or mental health. Oh, that's when we're thankful. We should be thankful every day. And maybe cook every day, make turkey, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, peas, corn, rolls, pumpkin pie, whipped cream, ice cream.
They should just call it, let's have a good meal day.
Yeah, really.
'Cause
That's what it is.
did you know Native Americans celebrated Thanksgiving once?
Once, and then they were killed by.
They did that one time. It was all right.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was all right.
And then it ended.
It was all right.
Yeah. Well, one good thing about Thanksgiving this year, a lot of retailers have said they're going to be closed, which is nice because the employees get to be at home and,
I'm working.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Turkey Hill doesn't give you the day off.
The only time Turkey Hill ever closes is the night shift on New Year's Eve.
Oh, really?
They will actually close the doors at like 10. I think I'm not sure, but it's pretty much my shift on New Year's Eve, and that's the only time
Wow.
Turkey Hill ever closes the doors.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, they put up a thing like, because we're going to be open, who wants to and who has family plans and they want
Yeah.
to be somewhere else and he wants to work, and I was like, I don't care, I'll work the whole day.
Give you a holiday pay.
Hey, you will definitely get time and a half, or
That's
maybe
good.
even
Maybe double.
But I told him, I was like, I'll work the whole day. I don't
Yeah.
care. But I was like, I'm not, like, if I do work during the day shift, I'm still not turning on that stupid lottery machine unless there's someone else to do
Oh,
it. Like,
yeah.
but I was like, I don't care. I'll work all day.
Yeah.
I really am not into Thanksgiving this year. I'm not. Just not into it.
Not
into
feeling it.
Christmas either.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to enjoy.
Peace out. Two morons talking on the porch. Yay!
I think it went well.
And a man stopped
I
to
think
talk.
I think it was exactly what the title describes.
It was
Yes.
very accurate
Yes.
what it was going to be.
We, like, if anything, we were accurate.
We were.
Because I'm a moron
And I'm a
and
moron.
I'm on a porch.
And I'm on a porch.
Bye.
Bye! Bye!